How you doing, everyone? Turkey Buzzard here. Hope you're having a good day. Well, the whole world knows about Area 51, but nobody knows about Area 88. So I thought I'd spend some time showing you around and letting you see what goes on in these top secret government facilities. Before we get started, I wanted to show you, first of all, my own personal set of legendary X-01 Mark VI power armor, fully shielded, all the bells and whistles, and a rattlesnake paint job. Probably the best power armor in the place, which is saying quite a bit because I do have a couple sets of power armor floating around back there. This is my room, which is not much. I don't have a need for much because I spend most of my time traveling, building other settlements, doing my quests, so I don't have much of a need for a big room. I want to let you know ahead of time I did not use Vault-Tec materials in this build because I find them big and bulky. They're hard to work with, they're not particularly attractive looking, and when you get finished they take up more space than they should. So I used other materials. Welcome to Area 88. Just inside the door I've got a couple of protectrons. They're standing guard, making sure nobody enters the facility that isn't authorized. That corridor there only goes to a vault door and a guard standing there. I did not choose to build into that area, but I do need access to it. Our tour begins with robotics. This is where all our robots are built and repaired, and I have quite a few robots here. It's also where we build and repair our power armor. I've got power armor stations for all the different types, the T45, T51, T60, X-01. I also have a power armor station for the other power armors. You'll recognize the Overboss's power armor from Nuka World. Once the power armors are finished, we needed a place to store them. So I had to build a power armor storage chamber. Did I mention I had a couple sets of power armor floating around here? Well, I have 4 floors of power armor. And the first floor is T45s, second floor is T51s, third floor is T60s, and the fourth floor is X01s. And the way this chamber is set up, on this left side you'll see just your basic T45 with a Vault-Tec paint job. And that's the way it goes all the way down through, just basics with a different paint job. And as we move around the chamber, the power armors are upgraded more as you go. And by the time you reach the opposite side of the chamber, those are all the best power armors you can possibly get in the game. For example, this end power armor is a legendary T45F, and it has everything you can possibly put on the power armor. So altogether 110 sets of power armor, and it was a lot of work getting it all here, getting it all set the way I needed it, and getting it all done, but I enjoyed it. And on the second floor we have the clinic area. Anybody who works here needs to see the doctor. This is where they would come. The doctor would take care of them, give them their physicals or whatever. And if they need to just have an extended stay to recuperate a little more, we have plenty of space for that. But that's the clinic area. The second floor gives you a pretty good view of robotics from up here. The power armor chamber can be viewed from all 4 floors. As a matter of fact, for some reason when they're not working, a lot of the settlers like to come up here and stand by this window and stare at the power armors. I don't know why they do that. I mean, it is a nice view, but the only thing I can think of is they do that because they're right here next to the residential area. Down here on the right is the ladies' dorm. I didn't use dressers in this build because they take up too much space. So I gave everybody foot lockers. They have a really nice bathroom. And over across is the men's dorm. Same idea, nice dorm area. Good sized bathroom. I used mostly Institute materials for this build because I felt that those materials are closest what you would find if you went to one of these top secret government facilities. So I think they work the best for this particular build. Up on the 4th floor we have the conference room. And on the wall we have a map of Vault 88, which is how it looks when you first get here. Of course, this doesn't look like that now, but a good size conference room, and inevitably people feel the urge to use a bathroom, so I put a couple of small bathrooms up here. But it's pretty good size conference room. It seems like these Institute materials seem to take up more of my build budget than the Vault-Tec materials. I don't know, maybe, maybe not. If it did, all I can figure is that it was part of the DLC. Not that it matters. I mean, you know, as far as build budget, you can always download an unlimited building mod, or if not, then you always have the weapon storage glitch. So, you know, there's always ways to get around the build budget problem. The next area is, well, we have the east sector, which is another area I didn't build into, but each of these areas, what I did was placed a vault door, and the interior door is always kept locked, and there's always a guard on duty. As far as hydroponics, I don't know if that's what you would really classify this as because they're planted in the dirt, but be that as it may, I have one person working here and she keeps track of all the food situation and whatever. Other than that, the farming and whatever is all taken care of by robots. And you know, it gave me the ability to assign my settlers to other jobs and not have to spend my resources just for getting the food situation taken care of. This is the cafeteria area. Good sized cafeteria, and when I come in here, for some reason, I always get the feeling like I'm walking into a McDonald's or something. But it's a good size area and it does the job, so. Next is the maintenance area, and it's just basically a big open area, and it's got all the stuff here that they need to do maintenance on the facility. But it also gives you access to the northeast sector, which is a restricted area, and it's where all the secret stuff is done. And obviously the first thing you run into is a guard on duty, waiting to look at your ID and make sure that you're authorized to be here. Now, did I say I didn't use Vault-Tec materials? I did. I used the Vault-Tec stairs because they are perfect for these slopes in these caverns. So I did use the Vault-Tec stairs. Other than that, those are the only materials from Vault-Tec that I used. This is another guard area, and for some reason I can't get anybody to actually come to this guard station and work. I don't know why, but that's the way it worked out, so you know, it's not a big deal. But this is the secret area. I really enjoyed this part of the build. You know, I put an alien spaceship in here, and then I used the snap and build industrial section to build these industrial bridges. And I have people up here working on this alien spaceship, and they're gleaning knowledge of alien technologies or whatever. But what I really like about this section is it gave me an opportunity to use different materials and different objects for this build that you don't normally use in your other settlement builds. Now, this is the research biolab, and obviously when these spaceships land, they have aliens in them. So these scientists, biotechnicians, or whatever you want to call them, they you know, basically keep these aliens, most of them on cryo, because they didn't all survive their landings or whatever. But I also have a live alien, and I really like this because one of the mods that I have allows you to actually build an alien, and I thought that was perfect for this particular build. But anyways, you know, that's what they do down here, is they basically do research on these aliens and find out more about them and their technologies and whatever. But definitely my favorite part of this build. Now, anybody who watched my video last week knows that I was not ready with this particular build. It took me actually almost 2 weeks to build this particular settlement, and it was a lot of work, but it was also a lot of fun. My video last week was revisiting Grey Garden, where all the power armors were originally stored. So I spent the week moving all those power armors here, along with a few others that were scattered throughout the Commonwealth. Between that and the build itself, it took me longer than I expected. But I really enjoyed the build, and it was something new, something different. But I hope you liked the video. If you did, please hit that like button. I appreciate it, and it tells me that I'm actually, you know, putting out content that people want to see. Also, if you have any comments or questions, I'd be glad to hear them. Any suggestions on future builds, what you would like to see, be glad to hear them. And otherwise, hobnob with fellow Fallout 4 fanatics. But also hit that subscribe button, and hey, thanks for watching.